Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. It is Sunday, October 1st, 2023. You're watching AMS Live. My name is Boy. And I'm standing at the same location as yesterday for another day of close-up arrivals. Polderbaan, still the only runway in use for arrivals today. Wind is blowing from the southwest, as you can see in the ticker, 210 degrees, 9 knots. The wind direction variable between 170 and 230 degrees. Visibility is good. Some scattered clouds at 3,500 feet. It is 17 degrees Celsius, dew point 13 degrees, air pressure 1,021 hectopascals. And there's an A330 coming this way. Delta Airlines flight 48, arriving from New York JFK. Good morning to one and all of you who tuned in already. Koen, goedemorgen. Sander, goedemorgen. Karsten, goedemorgen. Jelina, goedemorgen. Jan Kees, goedemorgen. FJWH, goedemorgen. Remco, goedemorgen. YouTube fan, goedemorgen. Anonymous, good morning. Goedemorgen. Steve J, good morning. Marja, goedemorgen. Good to see you all. Emra-makers, goedemorgen. Anton, een hele goede morgen. Mario, goedemorgen. And yes, a little bit of crosswind, Anonymous. Ralph, goedemorgen. We have a little bit of crabbing action and good visibility. Now, will we be able to see the 777 arriving from Johannesburg? That is going to enter the field of view from the left. I'm seeing it visually, but it is quite far out of the field of view already. Or still, I should say. Vinny, goedemorgen. KLM Aeroclub, good morning, goedemorgen. Arjan, goedemorgen. Jet Music, good morning. You might be hearing an airplane pass over. That would be an Embraer 190. Hey Erwin, goedemorgen. Bob, goedemorgen. Tina, good morning. Happy Sunday to you too. So it is a bit more windy than it was yesterday. Got some ripples in the water over here. And we have a 777 coming next. KLM flight 592. Arriving from Johannesburg, South Africa, 10 hours and 21 minutes underway now. 777-300ER, 7 years old. First flight was in May 2016. And the first of, I think, 3 queens before the A380 will arrive is expected within half an hour. Arriving from Nairobi, Cargolux if I'm not mistaken. I think Kuni already mentioned it in the very beginning. And a CRJ in 5 minutes, Anonymous is saying, so got a nice variety of airplanes up ahead of us. leaning a little bit in against the wind until the touchdown, as you can see from this point of view. Hey there, Big Al. Good morning, buddy. Doing well. Hope the same goes for you. Congratulations on a month of AMS Live membership. Thank you so much for your support, Big Al. Leo, goedemorgen. Good morning. Now it's also very decent contrail weather. There are some remnants in the sky, as you guys can see. Although here and there looking more southerly. This is the picture looking to the south, particularly to the southeast. It looks more open. Southwest a bit more cloudy. This is looking to the east, and this is what it looks like to the north. Well, the north over here. Right, we've got an A320 from Air France coming up next. Coming back from Paris Charles de Gaulle. Flight 1340. 42 minutes of flight time. 22 years old. First flight made 2001. Hey there, Alan. Good morning. René, goedemorgen. Graham, good morning. GRF, good evening. Ooh, checking in all the way from New Zealand. Thanks for the kind words, man. Appreciate it. Nice to see that people from New Zealand and Australia also seem to find the stream more and more. Probably a good time when I stream in the morning. It's usually late afternoon or evening, early evening for you guys. So I think that is a nice timing probably. Firefighters already did their round, unfortunately. As I was setting up, they passed by. And you can really see them well from over here because they pass along the road that you see right here. So you can really look them in the eye, so to speak. Anonymous also announcing that there's an Airbus A350 in 30 minutes expected. And indeed, 9:15 on the other side of the planet. Wasn't it? Didn't you end up somewhere between Australia and New Zealand if you started digging over here in Europe and you went straight through the core, assuming that would be possible? Wouldn't you end up? I think it's exactly on the opposite side of the world. EasyJet A319 up next, arriving from London Luton. Short flight, 38 minutes. 17-year-old airplane, first flight March 2006. Behind it, the SAS CRJ. Now, I think that would be this little bugger over here. Second time on this location, at this location, so I'm still getting a little used to how the glide slope looks a bit different from this point of view than further to the south. Got an A330-200 arriving from Edmonton that looks to become number 3. Hey Paul, goedemorgen. Piotr, good morning. Floris, goedemorgen. Austrian Wolf, guten Morgen. Servus. Dronen Oldies, good morning, guten Morgen. And glad you like the new location, Big Al. Now this is not going to be my new regular spot, it's just I think a bit of variation is good sometimes. And well, yesterday the overall feedback was positive. And I figured not everybody has probably seen the stream already, so let's do another show over here back to back. So that those who might have missed the stream of yesterday but might be able to tune in today can also have a look at the new location. There's the A330 in the left. The CRJ coming this way, arriving from Stockholm. Turning onto the glide slope. Flying over the North Sea Canal. And now turning away from it. RDW, goedemorgen. John, good morning mate. Good to see you. Tom, goedemorgen. And indeed, GRF, this is the only thing holding me back from entering the runway area. It's all over Schiphol. There are a few access points where you can also enter by car, and those are fended off with a fence with barbed wire, which I can show you after this landing. KLM flight 676, Airbus A330-200 arriving from Edmonton, Canada. Flight time 7 hours 43 minutes, and this airplane is 18 years old. Peter, goedemorgen. Kevin, good morning mate. And we do have a little bit of crosswind, Austrian Wolf. As you can see in the ticker, the wind on average comes from 210 degrees, so that's 30 degrees off course from the runway heading, from right to left for the airplanes approaching. So they are crabbing with their noses towards us a little bit. Now, one of those access points, in fact I did my very second stream from over there during twilight. One time I was standing on the, well, on the left side if you stand in front of it, but right of the fence the way we're now looking at it. Not the most ideal location, because you're directly under the glide slope and airplanes. It's better to film the airplanes when you are a little bit to the side. That I quickly realized. So yeah, GRF, when it freezes and these modes have frozen over, you can basically just walk over to the other side if you wanted to. Now of course, us Dutchies are well-behaved people. We would never think of doing that. And Flores is already announcing that the Cargolux Queen, the first of the day, is now 5th in line. Sarah, good morning, good to see you again. Hope all is well over there on the other side of the North Sea. And Paul, I wish I could. That's the downside of standing here in the morning. But it is a bit more cloudy now. The sun is being blocked by the clouds, so second best option to improve the lighting a little bit. Although it does get a little bit more dark then. Hey Marnix, goedemorgen. Yeah, almost visible on Flight Radar 3D. Sasha, goedemorgen. Good morning. Captain Eddie Bos, good morning. Or I should say good evening to you. Hope all is well. Four Dreamliners after the Cargolux, Florida says, so that is a nice streak indeed. John, good morning, good to see you again. Oh, wet and windy in Wales again? That's not good. You guys don't have much luck now the last couple of weeks, have you? Alan, good morning. Ingo, guten Morgen. Steffi, guten Morgen. Mitchell, good morning. Let's see. You guys are all just in time. First Queen is expected. Not yet visible. It has now reached the mainland of the province of North Holland. Hey Mrs. Professor, good morning. Doing well, thank you for asking. Hope the same goes for you. Hope you slept well after yesterday's stream. Danielka, good day. Welcome to the show. Hope you're well. Emra-makers, goedemorgen. Hey there Tim, good morning. Doing well, thanks for asking. In Staffordshire also dull and wet, so I thought that you guys were supposed to have rain only in the afternoon yesterday, and I thought that things would have cleared up after that, but apparently not so. I think over here only on Tuesday rain is expected and mostly sunny weather over here for the upcoming week with temperatures around 20 C or 70 F if you're used to Fahrenheit. Rick, goedemorgen. Ooh, also on behalf of Aaron and Sebastian. Goedemorgen jongens. Christian, goedemorgen. Christian is tuning in from Marken. And he just saw the Cargolux 747 pass over. So if you need to go to the bathroom, now's the time. If you need to grab a fresh cup of coffee or make a fresh cup of tea, you still have a few more minutes. Sun Express arriving from Adana. Paulo, good morning. Jordan, good morning. Judith, good evening. Mizam, good morning. Good day. Right. Now let's have a look. Sky Express is up next, an Airbus A320 Neo. And behind it should be an LL 737-800 arriving from Tel Aviv. Just in the bottom left of center. Number 3. Turning onto the glide slope from the right should be the Queen. Is she visible already? Let me also have a look on the big screen. No, unfortunately I'm not seeing her. No, bit unfortunate. Oh wait, yeah, bottom right. She is approaching. Right, Sky Express flight 8250 A320 Neo arriving from Heraklion in Greece. 3 hours and 36 minutes of flight time. 2-year-old airplane, first flight November 2020. Hey, ciao Luca! Long time no speak. Come stai? Busy probably with moving coming up. Catini 74, good morning. Martijn, goedemorgen. Let's turn around the camera. Up next, El Al, flight 337, 737-800, arriving from Tel Aviv. 4 hours and 37 minutes underway, 14-year-old airplane. First flight June 2009, and the first Queen of the day after that. Good morning, HK215. Gillian, or is it Gillian? Probably Gillian. Good morning. Jan-Willem, goedemorgen. Jan-Willem, thank you so much for that quote-unquote small contribution you sent me over PayPal yesterday. I did not see the notification immediately, so I reacted a bit, I think in hindsight, a bit cool, and that is definitely uncalled for, because I did see that your small contribution was a bit more significant than just small. So a big thank you once again today, Jan-Willem. Glad you tuned in so that I could at least address you. Thank you for that very generous contribution, that donation you sent me yesterday over PayPal. And ladies and gentlemen, this is the first Queen of the day. Cargolux flight 2616, arriving from Nairobi, operated by Cargolux Italia, 747-400. 19 years old. Let me shut up. Beautiful. And what a sound that machine made as it passed over, what didn't it? Holy moly. Beautiful. Her Majesty the Queen has landed. One of 3 that we are expecting before the A380 is arriving. Now folks, if you like what you see, definitely give the show a like. And if you haven't done so already, consider subscribing and hitting the bell icon so that you get updates whenever I go live in the future. Now I believe we are going to see a couple of Dreamliners back to back. Starting with this one, and where is the second one? It should be turning onto the glide slope in the distance from the left somewhere. At least according to flight radar. Oh wait, bottom left. There it is. And indeed, YouTube fan already mentioned that the PHBVA, the 777 Orange Pride, is also coming in today. Again, we've seen it a lot lately. This is KLM flight 668 arriving from Austin, Texas. It is a 787-9 Dreamliner that has been flying now from Austin for 8 hours and 49 minutes according to flight radar. This airplane is 5 years old, had its first flight in August 2018, and 3 more will be following back to back. And Bugatti, good morning to you too. I am further north. This is the northern threshold of the Polderbaan. The most northwesterly point of the Schiphol area. So the stream, the ducks are normally in, is over there. And somewhere beyond that little machine, I normally send. And the parking lot of the Spottersplatz in the center, really far away. We're a few kilometers further to the north. In fact, you can see that the stream is making a curve over here. So if you measure the straight angle towards the center of the runway, we are a bit closer to the runway than we would be if we were standing more to the south. Right next up is TUI flight 352, Boeing 787-8 Dreamliner arriving from Curaçao, Willemstad. Flight time 8 hours and 25 minutes. The airplane is 8 years old. Its first flight was in January 2015. The smallest of the family. We saw the mid-size just now, and this is the smallest of the bunch. Yesterday we got so many more members due to a torrent of gifted memberships. So today AMS Live members now have access to a new emoji. I'm still working on trying to get a good butt shot emoji, but it's hard to do. I did include a new emoji, the TUI logo. It's a bit late to say it right now, but for the next time a TUI airplane arrives, you can use the new emoji. Now Mitchell, thank you so much for a very generous super chat. And Mitchell writes, I unfortunately have to leave to catch a flight, but everyone enjoys the live stream for me and keeps up the great work. Cheers. Well, Mitchell, thank you so much. That is a very generous super chat. I'm sorry that you have to leave. I wish you have a good flight and hope to see you again whenever you have the opportunity to tune in again. Martin, goedemorgen. Maxine, goedemorgen, good morning. More Dreamliners coming up. Hope you guys like Dreamliners. If not, tough break. There are 2 more coming. 2 787-9s. KLM flight 696 is what we are looking at. It is arriving from Toronto, Canada. Now touching down, having touched down after 6 hours and 36 minutes of flight, 7-year-old airplane, first flight April 2016. Next up is KLM flight 749, another 7879 Dreamliner. There we go. We have an airplane behind it that is Delta Airlines flight 178, arriving from Portland, Oregon. An Airbus A330-300. Now, Mitchell also gifted 5 AMS Live memberships just now. Thank you so much for that, Mitchell. I think that is definitely uncalled for. You've already given more than enough. Thank you so much. If I recall correctly, and if no, memberships have automatically stopped, then when I'm coming home I can add another emoji for you guys. I think I still needed 4 memberships for the next one. Means I have to get busy working on that butt shot emoji, I think. Oh man. Now, sandwiched in between 2 heavies will be an Airbus A319 from EasyJet arriving from London Gatwick. Now number 2 for arrival. After that, Delta A350 arriving from Atlanta. Where is that A319? Oh wait, just left of center. Tino, good morning. Landing slowly, good morning. Lisette, goedemorgen. Hey there, Clive, good morning. Welcome one and all. Miss Wolves, good morning. Good to see you again, hope all is well. Peter, good morning. So this is Delta Airlines flight 178, Airbus A330-300 arriving from Portland, Oregon. Flight time has been 9 hours and 12 minutes thus far. The airplane is 20 years old, first flight June 2003. Let's have a look and listen. Looks like a nice wheelie. Landing slowly is informing us that the second queen from Air China Cargo is expected in about 15 minutes. I hope that by then 18C is still closed. Otherwise we might see it go to center. It's always a risk. Right, in foreground A319 EasyJet arriving from London Gatwick. Behind it the Delta A350 arriving from Atlanta, flight 74, the daily flight. Hey Wendy, goedemorgen, good to see you again. Campero, good morning, good to see you again as well. And Danny, goedemorgen. Hope all is well, Danny. So, funnily enough, over here the glide slope looks a bit different. The airplanes in the foreground in the top right, further away bottom left. Nice how that varies from location to location. So this EasyJet A319 underway for 43 minutes, arriving from London Gatwick, 15 years old. Fadi, is it Fadi or Fadi? Good morning. Hey Leen, goedemorgen. Now, Mitchell, thank you so much for your super chat. I don't think this is uncalled for. Thank you so much. I don't know what to say. Incredible. Thank you so much. I find it almost a bit embarrassing getting so many donations in such a short time. Thank you so much, Mitchell. Ewald, goedemorgen, good morning. Ewald is informing us that KLM Cargo just passed his house on the way to Johannesburg. Unfortunately, outbound traffic is taking off from runway 24. Not a lot we can see from over here. Was hoping to go there yesterday, but turns out that they are working on the roads around the location I normally stand at. And park at. But I think this is actually a location that is very similar in its orientation versus the runway. The location where I normally stand at when I go to the Cargolux, runway 0624. Hey Trekkerspot, goedemorgen. Dit is Polderbaan, de noordkant. Uli, goedemorgen. Peter K, good morning. We saw Delta Airlines flight 74 and next up is going to be an A319 from Lufthansa arriving from Munich. Flight 2302, flight time 1 hour and 4 minutes. 12-year-old airplane, first flight August 2011. Hey there Dave, good morning. And Campero, today's runway is 18 right. Standing on the north side, the very north end of the runway. E2 Embraer 195 should be approaching the glide slope from the left somewhere. Can you guys see it? Let me have a look. Oh yeah, very far in the distance. Further away than flight radar had made me to believe. And that A350, still a long way to taxi to the gate. Has to pass by the ATC control tower over here and continue along the path of trees that you see in the very background, which leads to the main platform area, which is well in the distance from here. And the main ATC control tower and the main terminal building is immediately adjacent to the tower that you see just behind the tree in the center, kilometers away. Big picture, looking to the south, it looks like this. Looking to the southwest, this is where the wind is coming from. It does seem that more clouds are drifting in. This is looking to the west. This is looking to the east. You can see it does seem to be getting more cloudy again. I thought it was set to clear up from the south and from the southwest, but maybe it's going to take a bit longer. Now, in the center we have an E2 Embraer 195 arriving from Geneva from KLM. Behind it is an A319 from Croatia Airlines arriving from Zagreb. And even further out from the right we should be seeing a 737-800 arriving from Berlin. Although I'm not sure if we were able to see it already. So this airplane is coming in from Geneva, flight time 1 hour and just over 10 minutes. And the turbofan whistle, I call it. The geared turbofan whistle. You hear a similar whistling sound when an A220 passes by, for instance from Air Baltic. Well, I had two passing by, landing as I was walking over here this morning. Not sure if there's more coming. And Remco, thank you so much for gifting 5 memberships. Appreciate it a lot. Thank you so much, and a big welcome to all the new AMS Live members. Welcome to the Aurora Sky Lounge. Hey there Blackburst, good morning, good to see you again. Hope all is well. Got an airplane approaching that has just taken off. Oh, it is above the clouds already. Hard to pick up. Going to Christiansand, an Embraer 190. A bit easier to pick up is this airplane. Croatia Airlines arriving from Zagreb. Well, the silver lining of the cloudiness is that at least we don't have a lot of backlight from the sun. Let's just say that's the silver lining then. Mabube, good morning. Good to see you again. Hope all is well. Hey there, I Love Planes. I Love Planes asks, can you spot the 737 Transavia from my aunt? She is coming back from vacation today. Well, it depends on where she is coming from and what time she is expected to arrive. This is KLM flight 1822, Boeing 737-800, arriving from Berlin. Flight time 1 hour and 0 minutes. So 1 hour precisely, according to flight radar. 15 years old, first flight December 2007. Ambulance coming in. All right, well, I was turning around the camera, but nothing is visible just yet. Peter PDK, guten Morgen, herzlich willkommen. Now, we should be expecting a Tarom A318 up next, and it is coming from the right. Let me first have a look if I can see it visually somewhere. It should be somewhere in the distance in that part of the sky, although I think it looks like it is turning in more. It is already in the vicinity of the glide slope. So the tree that sticks out a little bit in the center is what I'm using as an anchor to get the general direction of the glide slope. That is around here. Let me crouch behind the laptop, see if I can look along with you guys, if we might be able to see it already. Not yet. Right, I Love Planes says around 10:30. Well, Transavia flight. There is one coming, probably as number 3, arriving from Olbia. Is that the plane? Well, as long as it is coming from the west, it's definitely going to land on this runway. And Fadi asks, is there no flights from India? I do believe that Air India is flying to Amsterdam. It's just always at a different time than when I'm streaming. Coming from Pisa. Right, well, the first airplane is approaching, and just right of it you can see the second airplane approach. So that tree protruding is a good benchmark to point the camera at from this point of view. Now, talking about taking a drink, let me take a sip of water now that there's a moment for it. Got an Air Baltic A220 passing over. Unfortunately, it is above the clouds. The clouds that are blocking the sun are quite low, it seems like. Right, next up, Tarom, arriving from Bucharest. The baby bus, the A318, flight 361. Flight time of this airplane thus far, 2 hours and 36 minutes. The airplane is 16 years old. First flight was in November 2006. Behind it on the left is a KLM 737-800 arriving from Copenhagen. Navy Jack, good morning. Afrodite, goedemorgen. Alles goed? Good to see you again. Hey Mariano, goedemorgen. Ooh, warm and sunny Limburg. That sounds good. Send some sunshine over from over there to us, will you? Right, K1 also awake. Bird controller. In the VW. And this is a 737-800 arriving from Copenhagen. Flight time normally around an hour. Hey Infinity, goedemorgen. Good to see you. Hope all is well. And welcome to the show, one and all. You're watching AMS Live. My name is Boy and this is the Polderbaan. We're doing close-up arrivals. We have wind blowing from the south-southwest. These airplanes are landing from north to south. Mostly headwind, a little bit of crosswind from the right. We were having some sunshine between the clouds, but at the moment it is getting more cloudy once again, getting more overcast. Two airplanes visible in the foreground, Transavia arriving from Olbia, and behind it a KLM arriving from London Heathrow. Both are 737-800s. And there's a third 737-800 arriving after that. They come in groups, the Dreamliners, 4 in a row or 5. Now the 737-800s. Transavia flight 9616 arriving from Olbia, 7 years old. The next airplane arriving from London Heathrow, KLM flight 1002, is 12 years old. First flight March 2011. Hey there, Preacher, good morning, good to see you. Darth Cloud, good morning. So we have another 737 in the background. Transavia arriving from Pisa. Hey Remco, goedemorgen. And Infinity is telling us that the Orange Pride is 12 minutes out, so that's always nice. It's been a while since we haven't seen it. Since it began flying again, I think we've seen it in almost every stream so far. It's the new chocolate livery Embraer, it seems like. But you don't hear me complain. More 777-300s. They always make terrific noise on landing, so when they pass by, the freighters and the 300s make the best sound. Better than the 200s, although they also sound nicely. They nice soundly. Hey Ralf, goedemorgen. Jejo 99, good morning. Way to Sky, good morning. Big Brother, good morning. Martin is informing us that China Cargo 747 is expected in, what is it, half an hour from now or so? Got a CRJ flying over. Can I see it? Barely. The clouds are pretty dense. And it was such a nice morning to do contrail spotting in the beginning. Hopefully it will open up further later in the morning. Transavia flight 5424 arriving from Pisa. The airplane 5 years old, first flight March 2018. That's your aunt. Well, she has landed safely. I love planes. And Vinny, thank you so much for gifting an AMS Live membership. And Thomas, congratulations, you were gifted the membership by Vinny. Welcome to the Aurora Sky Lounge. And Vinny, once again, thank you so much for your donation. WD Computer, good morning, good to see you again. Sabine, or is it Sabine? Sabine, probably. Good morning to you too. Hope all is well with everybody. Mojave, good morning. Happy October 1st from a rainy and overcast East Yorkshire. You guys are having bad luck with the weather. Other folks reported similar weather who live in the UK. Now, over here, we started the day with more sunshine than we have right now. Actually, let's look at what it looks like from over here. You can see, but then again, if you look in the distance over there, it does look like opening up again. Also looking to the west, over sea, it looks like there is blue sky. The wind is coming from this direction, more or less, so that's what's coming over here shortly. Too bad that the sun is over there in the sky because the clouds are blocking the view, but does look like it might get a bit more sunny later. Again, hopefully. Hey there Speedbird, good morning and thank you for the kind words, appreciate it, glad you're enjoying, hope everybody is. Next up, KLM flight 1228, Boeing 737-700 arriving from Paris Charles de Gaulle. Flight time 39 minutes, 14-year-old airplane, first flight October 2008. And I think I see the first airplane on flight radar that is going to runway center. Embraer 175 arriving from Oslo. Looks like it is lined up on the glide slope for runway 18 center. So I think they are opening up center. Way to Sky asks, will you show the high altitude flight spotting? Well, if I can see it and there's nothing much going on the ground, I will do it, but unfortunately this is what the sky looks like above my head right now, so not a lot of contrails that you can see, but that might change. More blue over there, and this is where the wind is coming from, so maybe later we can do a few contrails, but for now it is not yet possible. 777 arriving from New York JFK. Further up, looks like it's going to be the number 1 for this runway. Unless it continues flying. No, it looks like it's turning already. Okay, Emirates already confirming the Orange Pride is landing here. That is the airplane that we will be seeing next. In fact, gotcha! Now, let me take this moment to update the ticker. Runway usage has changed and the weather probably also. So let's at least include runway 18C as the arrival runway, and let me quickly have a look on flight radar. See what the latest METAR looks like. 200 degrees, 10 knot wind, so not significantly different from what it already was. Paste. Adjust the font size and color. There we go. Hey there, Aeolus Capital, good morning, good to see you again. KLM 777-300, the Orange Pride arriving from New York. Up next, visible in the distance, you can see the landing gear extending, going down. Hey there, Ali, good morning. Perfect timing, just in time to see the KLM Orange Pride. Ellie says, I've been busy, very busy studying recently, haven't been able to check in for a while. Glad to see I joined at the best time. Well, the second best time, I think the best time would be if a queen would be coming, but this is definitely up there. It is the PHBVA. We saw it yesterday. It had been out of commission for a couple of months, probably for maintenance, I'm not sure. Probably a major maintenance. And I'm also seeing that the footage becomes a bit more shaky due to the wind. If it gets worse, we'll have to resort to enabling image stabilizer again. That might be a good idea. The PHBVA Orange Pride arriving from New York. A 15-year-old 777-300ER. It is exactly as old as the Leysieffer chocolaterie Embraer from German Airways. Hey there, DJ Digital Media. Goedemorgen. Tuning in from Humberside. And Ellie is just 1 month away from completing her bachelor's degree. That's nice. What are you studying? Now, parallel arrivals are in progress right now. The next airplane to come this way is going to be from ITA Airways, and further out we have Air Malta. Oh, bird strike. Ooh, near miss. Coming this way is ITA Airways flight 120 arriving from Milan. Politics and international relations. So you're going to be a diplomat after having gotten your bachelor's, eh? The beautiful Azzurro from ITA Airways, a regular A320. Flight time has been 1 hour and 28 minutes thus far, and this airplane is 12 years old already. Doesn't look its age. Also sounds very fresh. Super Cooper, good morning. Tuning in from Hornsea, East Yorkshire. Ah, I'm on. In Friday I will arrive in Amsterdam. Nice. Which flight will you be on? I think the wind will still be the same, generally speaking, as we are having today. And by the way, it is opening up nicely. I think soon the sun will no longer be obscured by clouds. But if you are arriving Friday, Make sure to book a seat on the right hand side next to a window. Big Al has to go. Too bad. Thanks for joining, Big Al. It's been a pleasure to have you on the stream once again. Enjoy the rest of your day, and I hope to see you again soon. Transavia flight 5472 arriving from Mahon. This is what it looks like when not being zoomed in. Flight time 2 hours and 7 minutes. And you can see you really need some zoom to see a bit more of the details. Hey Lance, good morning mate, good to see you. Hope all is well. One of the many neighborinos from the other side of the North Sea. Now, contrails are visible once again. This one flying west to east, pretty far south of me. And still a little bit west of me. I think we have a BizJet. Such a small contrail. That might be a BizJet. Which is flying also west to east, but a bit more northerly of that other jet. In the meantime, very far in the distance is United Airlines flight 968 arriving from San Francisco, which is a 777-200. Mahon is where mayonnaise is coming from, right? That does make sense. So did we invent Hollandaise saus then? Just wondering. Right, Mayon. Now I know how to pronounce it. Thanks Aphrodite. Mayonnaise. Mayon. United Airlines flight 968 777-200 ER. Arriving from San Francisco, flight time 9 hours and 38 minutes as we speak. 26 years old already. First flight was in September 1997. Miguel, good morning. Tuning in from Portugal. Freddy Dutch, good morning. Dirk, goedemorgen. Those triples are noisy buggers, aren't they? Hey there, Kevin. Good morning. Good to see you. Hope all is well. As you guys can see, still a little bit of wind from the southwest. South-southwest. It's more accurate. The nose of the airplane pointing towards us. As it gently creeps and crawls closer towards us. You can see that the sun is starting to come out again. Hey there Anton, good morning. Robbie, goedemorgen, good morning. In Assen in the northeast of the country, still cloudy. Now it seems that we'll have to wait a bit for the next traffic to come to this runway. Most of the incoming traffic going to runway center. Already checking up. There is an SAS CRJ going back to Stockholm. Let me see if I can pick it up. Well, that is a bit of a challenge. It is camouflaged really well. So let's focus on what we can see a bit better then. Traffic going to runway center. This looks like an Embraer 190 arriving from Stuttgart. KLM flight 1868. Has been flying for just over an hour now from Stuttgart to Amsterdam. Fourteen-year-old airplane, first flight September 2009. Hey there stranger, good morning. BZN pilot, good morning. Hey Greet, goedemorgen. Russell, good morning. Or evening. Good evening to you then. E2 Embraer 195, the next airplane to center, arriving from Munich. KLM flight 1792. Munich in the south of Germany, flight time 1 hour and 12 minutes. Behind it is a flight that I've flown on several times already, from Transavia, coming back from Innsbruck, which is not much further south than Munich, so probably the same flight time approximately. The E2, 1 year old, first flight February 2022, and flight 6610 from Transavia, arriving from Innsbruck, which if you ever have the opportunity to fly in an airplane to, definitely do that. Gorgeous approach either from the west or from the east, although I do prefer the approaches to the airfield from the east, since you'll be flying over the city of Innsbruck shortly before touching down. Really low, you can see everything from a bird's eye view, beautiful. And of course flying through the Inn Valley with the mountain peaks above you. You're literally flying between the clouds, between the mountains. And indeed the flight time of this flight thus far 1 hour and 16 minutes, a bit longer, a few minutes more than the one from Munich before it. The 737 is 11 years old, first flight was in April 2012. Hey Mol, goedemorgen. Good to see you again. Indeed, Navy Jack. Oktoberfest flight, that could have been the case. Because the weather is better in September. Oktoberfest nowadays starts in September. Hey George, goedemorgen, good to see you. Hans, goedemorgen. Jack's flights, or I should say Dean, good morning. And indeed, Aphrodite, we are a few meters closer to the arrivals on center as well. Maybe 30 or so meters. Yeah, okay, granted, Austrian Wolf, the approach from the west is more spectacular, that is true. There's something to say for both. You basically have to fly to Innsbruck twice, once from the west and once from the east, to fully appreciate the awesome location of the airfield. Right, in the meantime, a next airplane for Polderbaan has arrived. It is Air Transat, the A321neo, arriving from Montreal or Montreal. 6 hours and 20 minutes of flight time. Here she comes. Hey there, Kumi. Good morning, goedemorgen. And I think the sun is going to shine. It is already coming through the clouds a little bit, poking holes. Now, if you look closely, you can see that there's just a few last cloud remnants obscuring the view, but it is mostly sunny already. And this is where the wind is coming from, so it's opening up nicely. Also a nice vaguely contoured cloud. Nice to see. Hey Jan Willem, thank you for joining. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday. Hope to see you again soon. Hey Jackie, goedemorgen. Guy, good morning. Tuning in from Luxembourg once again. Good to see you. Now the Embraers seem to be going to runway center, that's good. Let all the Embraers go there and have all the other airplanes go to Polderbaan. I'm all for that. Here is Iberia Express A320 arriving from Madrid, flight 3722, flight time nearly 2 hours. 23 years old already. First flight of this airplane was in October 1999, so we have another millennial coming in. Hey Han, goedemorgen, good to see you. Doing well, thank you for asking. Hope the same goes for you. Sun is starting to come out. Now unfortunately, Air China Cargo 747 on the glide slope for center. Not going to the Polderbaan. Cameramakers already informed us about that, but it's always sad to see. However, as Aphrodite was already mentioning, we are a few meters closer than normally would be the case, so after the touchdown has completed, which now is the case, let's turn around and have a look at the second queen that unfortunately is going to runway center. Air China Cargo, at the moment number 5 most tracked airplane on flight radar, followed by 303 people. Air China Cargo flight 1039 arriving from Shanghai. Has been flying for over 11 hours and 20 minutes according to flight radar as we speak. For a 747, she's relatively young, 17 years old. First flight of this airplane was in December 2005. And behind this Queen is a 777 that is also coming from Shanghai, arriving from Shanghai. The next airplane to come to this runway is going to be the Play A320. What is it? A321neo. The labels on flight radar were placed over each other. And Lane is a Queen fan. Are you talking about the airplanes or the band? Or both? Statement open for interpretation. And then the screens along the highway and the trees are blocking the view. Right, let's turn around, have a quick look at the Play airplane that is coming next. And so, a murmuration. Yesterday too we saw a lot of birds in that area, right in the vicinity of where the airplanes are passing by. It's always hard to estimate how high these birds are flying versus the airplanes, but the airplanes are definitely not flying very high at this point. So, playtime, ladies and gentlemen. Flight 460 arriving from Reykjavik, A321neo. Flight time 2 hours and 39 minutes. The airplane is 5 years old. First flight April 2018. Okay, the birds seem to be in a different part of the sky. Hopefully no bird strikes will occur. Right, I see you guys have found the emoji for playtime. Very nice. Got another airplane coming in. E2 Embraer 195. Arriving from Manchester, KLM flight 1072. Flight time 45 minutes. The airplane a year old, first flight January 2022. And there is a 737 in the bottom left corner, that is number 2. Short flight arriving from Brussels. Peter K is informing us that the A380 is now over Romania. I think it was expected around 1:15 or 1:30, the normal time, so to speak. Hey there Larry, good morning, good to see you again. Hope all is well. I'm still working on a bot shot emoji, but the influx of new members yesterday meant I could add a new emoji, so TUI is the latest addition. Not sure if it is a keeper, but and is that a Queen taking off? It is. Queen taking off from runway 24. Let me scroll to the south on flight radar. That is China Airlines Cargo, flight 5546, going to Bangkok. 21 years old, first flight November 2001. Things are opening up over here, as you guys can see. All of a sudden, contrails become visible much better. Got a Boeing 737-800 arriving from Brussels, flight 1724, short flight 29 minutes, 16-year-old airplane, first flight in 2007. Hey there, Madeira Aviation spotting, good morning. And now Aviation says in 2 weeks we go from Houston to Düsseldorf via Amsterdam. That is nice. What airplane are you flying on? Will you be flying on? Right. Let's have a look. Embraer 190 arriving from Leeds. And further out, A330 arriving from Bonaire. Let's have a look and see if we can spot both already. Now, those airplanes further out were a bit lower, but they were in the vicinity of that tree protruding. Also checking on the bigger screen. I'm not seeing it yet. I think the A330 is still a bit too far out, or I'm totally missing it. That could also be a possibility. Embraer 190 arriving from Leeds, flight 1540. 42 minutes of flight time, 14-year-old airplane, first flight October 2009. Alright, Captain Willie does not seem to be flying this airplane. More Embraers to center. While we're waiting for the A330-300 arriving from Bonaire. The airplane after this Embraer. An A320neo from ITA Airways. Again the Azzurro. And coming our way is this Airbus A330-300 KLM flight 765 arriving from Bonaire. Has been flying now for 8 hours and 48 minutes and the airplane is 11 years old. First flight of this airplane was in February 2012. Hey Michel, good morning. And Michel with an E, good morning. Geert, goedemorgen. Hope everybody is doing alright. It's getting a bit more busy with airplanes further north. Got JetBlue arriving from Boston as number 2 by the looks of it, and I think Air Canada flight 808 777 is going to be the next airplane after that. Let me see, can we see JetBlue already? Oh yeah, above the protruding tree. So that is a good benchmark. Cool. Oh, that was actually quite a substantial wheelie, counting the seconds. Musli, Servus, Nightik, good morning. Right, let's turn around the camera. JetBlue flight 631 is going to be next, arriving from Boston, Massachusetts. An A321neo, and this flight has begun flying to Amsterdam last month. Yeah, it is October 1st now, so on September 21st I think the first flight arrived. So it's a very fresh flight to Amsterdam. JetBlue already began a few weeks earlier with flying in from JFK on a daily basis. This A321neo, now underway for 6 hours and 34 minutes, is 2 years old already. The first flight of this airplane was in 2021, in June. The wind is picking up. You can see that pilots are correcting a bit more. Now in the meantime, thank you so much, Vinny, for gifting an AMS Live membership. Thank you so much for your support. And congratulations, Yorkshire Flyer, who was gifted the membership that Vinny just gifted. Welcome to the Aurora Sky Lounge. And Duncan says, my friend has not long left Aberdeen in his way to you. I'm watching to see his plane land. Should be in less than an hour now. Well, coming in from Aberdeen, it should go to Polderbaan regardless of whether or not center is open or not. Now, at the moment, 777 is coming in to center. A Chinese version. But I'm not going to linger too long on it because we have our own triple coming in next. Air Canada Flight 808 arriving from Toronto, Canada. It is a 777-200 long range. Flight time 6 hours 48 minutes. The airplane is 15 years old. First flight was in January 2008. It is getting a bit more windy, so let me see if maybe enabling image stabilizer reduces the vibration a little bit. I think that should make it a bit more calm. Should be a KLM Embraer 190 behind it, arriving from Southampton, and behind it an Embraer 175 coming in from Bristol, the first one is above that protruding tree. That's a very good benchmark to look for planes in the distance. Ready to rob a bank. Alright, beautiful sound. So the 200 long range, the 300 and the freighters all have that sound. We can compare the 777-300 in a minute because, well, in a figuratively speaking minute. Got one arriving from Curaçao that is now flying downwind. And thank you for the compliment, Larry. I am very fond of the Sennheiser MKE 600 that I purchased in spring. The sound quality is superb. Flying from east to west, almost immediately over me, a little bit to the north of me, is this twin jet. Is that a Dreamliner? I think it might be, judging the wing shape and curve. And it looks like a bit more dark towards the tail, so Lufthansa? Question mark. Flying from Frankfurt to somewhere in the United States, most likely, if I would have to venture a guess. Ah, cool. Lufthansa, Dreamliner, awesome. And Zufika asks, how long is your lens? Well, it is the built-in lens in my camcorder, and I think the 35mm equivalent of the zoom is 600mm. This is KLM flight 916 arriving from Southampton, Embraer 190, flight time 45 minutes, 15-year-old airplane, first flight October 2008. Everybody keeps pumping the likes. Well, make sure to like if you haven't done so already, and also subscribe and hit the bell icon if you want to be updated whenever I go live, if you want to see more of content such as this. Got an Embraer 175 up next, arriving from Bristol. KLM flight 1050, flight time 48 minutes. 6-year-old airplane, first flight July 2017. Welcome to the show, B, who says good morning, greetings from Turkey. Good morning to you too. And all other viewers who have tuned in the meantime, welcome to you too. And thank you so much, Aphrodite. 300 likes. Thank you so much for your super chat there, Aphrodite. And thank you all so much for liking the stream. JD, thank you so much for gifting 5 AMS Live memberships. Above and beyond, once again, thank you so much. Congratulations to everybody who was gifted a membership by JD. Thank you again, JD, for that. EasyJet coming in next. A319 arriving from Milan, and we have an A320 from Austrian behind it. Now I'm not seeing any traffic going to center anymore, so does that mean we are once again standing at the only runway used for arrivals? I think we might be. I'm going to get rid of 18C in the ticker. Bible Nestum, good morning, good to see you again. Hope all is well. I am in a different location today. Yesterday I went here for the first time. It is the northern threshold of the Polderbaan, so same runway but far, far, far to the north. This is the most northwestern part of the Schiphol area. Austrian Airlines. Flight 379 arriving from Vienna, Airbus A320, flight time 1.5 hours, 15-year-old airplane. Next up, the number 9 worldwide most tracked airplane, tracked by 244 people, KLM flight 736. Arriving from Willemstad, Curaçao, it is a 777-300 ER. Has been flying for 8.5 hours. It is 8 years old. Let's listen in. Hey there, Sponge. Good morning. Catherine, good morning. Good to see you again. Janet, good morning. Doing well. Thank you for asking. Nice to see you popping in, for even if it is just for a little bit. Hey there, the not lucky guy. Good morning. All right. Got an Embraer 190 coming in from Edinburgh. Up next. Bit further to the left we can see the airplane behind it, which is an A319 from EasyJet arriving from Prague in the Czech Republic, and there should be another Embraer 175 behind it, which I'm not sure if we can show already. Let me also have a look. No, I'm not seeing it yet. Oh wait, in the very bottom of the screen, just about visible. Cool, so we need to look very low, it seems like. Okay, always good to get a little bit of reference. What is that coming over here? Looks like another airplane. And look at the contrail it is forming. Looks quite spectacular. Beautiful to see the formation of the contrail on that one. Now, is that a conjunction in the making? I think there might be. Which one am I now looking at? Where's the other one? Oh, there it is. Nah, that's probably not going to... Nah, that's not going to get closer than that. Too bad. It is opening up in the meantime nicely. As you guys can see, it is mostly blue skies again. This is looking to the east. This is looking to the south. The west I was... This is the east. Apologies. The first angle was the west. Embraer 175 arrived from Dublin. Right. No time to waste. The next airplane is already getting closer by. Transavia in the Peter Pan Vakantieclub special livery, arriving from Ibiza, flight 5676. It is a 737-800. Has been flying now for 2 hours and 12 minutes. The airplane is 10 years old. First flight March 2013. Right, we have another Dreamliner coming up next. Number 2. First, another Embraer 175 arriving from Newcastle. And the Dreamliner already visible, arriving from Bonaire, from TUI. This is KLM flight 954 in the foreground. Embraer 175 coming in from Newcastle. 55 minutes of flight time under its belt as we speak, and the airplane is 5 years old. First flight of this airplane was in April 2018. Right, up next, TUI flight 383, Boeing 7878, arriving from Bonaire. Number 6 worldwide, tracked by 250 people. Looks like a lot of the airplanes are being followed by viewers. Flight 383, flight time 8 hours and 33 minutes. The airplane is 8 years old. First flight November 2014. Oh, that was a tripod lag I ran into. Photo bomb coming in. Two airplanes visible, one quite obviously, the other one in the bottom left corner. on coming towards us. The first is KLM Flight 1230, 737-800 arriving from Paris. 45 minutes of flight time, 12 years old. First flight May 2011. Then an A320 after that. And now number 3, including this one, is KLM Flight 604, which is a 787-10 Dreamliner arriving from LAX. And yes, the emojis, the custom emojis are always made by the channel maker. Good morning, Jack in Canada. Good morning to all other viewers who have joined in the meantime. Polderbaan arrivals, Northern Threshold. This is SAS Flight 821, Airbus A320 arriving from Oslo. Flight time, an hour and a half, 17-year-old airplane, first flight September 2006. Let's have a look. Got a twin jet flying from west to east, a little north of me and still west of me. Hard to make out the type from this distance. And more importantly, there's a Dreamliner from LAX coming in. And down come the wings. Hey Yorkshire biker, good morning. Just about still over here, 15 minutes before the afternoon begins. Good to see you, hope all is well. Got an Embraer 190 from German Airways flying for KLM up next, and after that we are going to see Delta Airlines Flight 162 arriving from Minneapolis, which is an Airbus A330. And here they both are. Nicely packed together visually. You can see the landing gear go down on the A330. Now I'm wondering, let me have another look. Is the third airplane? Oh yeah, just above the tree. The protruding tree, coincidentally in line with the glide slope, it seems like. Arriving from Basel, flying as KLM flight 1986, this Embraer, now on the way for an hour and 4 minutes, 16 years old. It's not Choc-ky, but maybe Choc-ky will come later. The APRI Leysieffer livery. I'm doing well, Paul. Thank you for asking. Lovely weather over here. Standing here in my vest. And it is the beginning of October. What more could you want? Hey Paula, goedemorgen. Namaste, Ratot. Sakalong, good evening. Tuning in from India, welcome. Hey there Roy, good morning. Right, Delta Airlines, flight 162. Airbus A330-300. Let's have a listen. Touching down after 7 hours and 21 minutes. And a modest wheelie. The airplane is 19 years old. It is still 19 years old. The airplane we saw. Two more airplanes visible. The first one is TUI 737 MAX 8 arriving from Ibiza, and EasyJet A320 arriving from Berlin after that. And this TUI MAX 8 is flying now for 2 hours and 12 minutes according to flight radar. The airplane itself a year old. First flight December 2021. Right, Remco has to go. Thank you so much for joining, Remco. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday. Hope to see you again soon. And Tiger, thank you so much for already renewing your first month of membership, which will expire in 2 days from now. Dirk asks if I have a decibel counter available. I don't know. I know it's loud on occasion, but I do have some apps on my phone, but I cannot use my phone while streaming because my screen is already fully crowded with flight radar and with the chat. And also I'm not sure how accurate these are, these apps. Does anybody know, by the way? Decibel meters on your phone, how well do they measure volume? EasyJet A320 arriving from Berlin. Flight time 1 hour and 6 minutes. Okay, so decent enough to measure the volume difference between Airbuses and Boeings. Got a Transavia 737-800 up next, arriving from Malaga. Has been flying now for 2.5 hours. And in the bottom left corner you can see the next airplane behind it. Embraer 190 from KLM arriving from Cardiff, I think. Cardiff, German Airways flying for KLM, to be more precise. I think there's another triple coming as number 3, arriving as number 3. I think that is a KLM 777-300 arriving from Vancouver. That is now number 3. Hey Johanna, goeiemorgen nog net. Just a few more minutes of morning. Tuning in from nearby Haarlem. Welcome back, good to see you, hope all is well. Again, 2 airplanes visible, top right, bottom left. Embraer 190 in the foreground, German Airways flying for KLM, flight 1060 arriving from Cardiff. 51 minutes of flight, and the airplane is 15 years old, first flight January 2008. Right, we've got an Embraer 175 arriving from Hanover first, and then the 777 arriving from Vancouver. Oh, here we need to be. In fact, let's zoom out a little bit so we can show both airplanes in the same shot. KLM flight 1904 in the foreground, in the bottom top right, arriving from Hanover. Short flight, 41 minutes. Airplane age is 7 years. First flight May 2016. And Peter K, thank you for informing us the whereabouts of the A380 that is coming to Amsterdam. At the moment it is over Vienna. Looks like another twin jet from Lufthansa. Probably from Frankfurt. And here, all the way from Vancouver, Canada, KLM flight 682, 777-300ER. Let's listen how it sounds. Bouncy. And indeed, Austrian Wolf, sticking around until the A380 has landed is the goal. That is what it usually is, weather permitting. And today weather is definitely going to permit. That contrails all over the sky at the moment. Twin jet. Got another twin jet coming this way. Where is it? Over there. The sky is bustling with activity. Paradoxically, where we had blue sky overseas first, it now looks like there's more cloudiness oversea than over land. Again, looking to the south and to the east. Got another contrail behind this one. If you trace back, you can see they seem to be on the same what's it called again? The highways in the sky. What are they called again? I know the name. A321neo Pegasus arriving from Istanbul. Little tippy-toey. Well, it looked like it was going to be tippy-toey. Alright, Lane. See you later. Thanks for joining. And Jackie also. Good to have seen you. Enjoyed the lounge. Alright, next up is Choc-ky. German Airways Leysieffer Chocolaterie Special Livery, the DAPRI, 15 years old, first flight January 2008, Embraer 190, flying for KLM, arriving from Aberdeen, has been flying now for 1 hour and 3 minutes. Meanwhile, JD, thank you so much. Oh, the camera pointing up. Thank you so much, JD, for gifting 5 AMS Live memberships. And welcome to the Aurora Sky Lounge, all the people who just received a gifted membership from JD. Totally uncalled for, JD, but thank you very much. It is very much appreciated. Now, is that the wind? I think it must have been the wind interfering. That caused the camera to go up. I'm also having a look. Behind me should be a Pegasus turboprop. I think I have it. Let's see if I can zoom in on it. Now, where is it? Small. There it is. You sometimes hear them pass over when it is cloudy and the clouds are obscuring the view. This jet, or at least a privately owned jet, arriving from Southampton, probably going to land on the Oostbaan, runway 22. This is Delta Airlines arriving from Detroit, Airbus A330-300, flight time 7 hours and 10 minutes, 16-year-old airplane, first flight August 2007. Right, so Ruben is informing us that the A380 is expected in 1 hour and 12 minutes from now. Just above the border with Germany and Switzerland. Probably Germany. Oh, Austria. Okay. I was already beginning to wonder what kind of strange route the A380 was flying today if it were flying over Switzerland. In that case, I would have had to have a look on Flight Radar myself just to see why it was doing it and how it was doing it. Next up, Boeing 737-700 arriving from Billund, KLM flight 1344. Flight time 15 minutes as we speak. 13-year-old airplane, first flight November 2009, and behind it is a 777 arriving from Cape Town. Time for us to enjoy more GE90. The 90th Symphony of General Electric. Now, before turning the camera, let me quickly go back to the computer because I see yet another message that I definitely have to highlight. Thank you so much, Tiger74, you too, for gifting 5 AMS Live memberships. I don't know what to say, so many new members by gifted memberships over the last 2 days. Incredible. I have to do some homework, get new emojis in probably. Thank you so much once again, Tiger74. Marissa, goedemiddag, good afternoon. Hey there, James Carey, good afternoon. Let me quickly turn around the camera. 777 time, the 90th Symphony of General Electric, coming home from Cape Town, South Africa. Hey, Gosse, goedemiddag kerel. All right. Now we'll have to make do with narrow bodies once more. Embraer 190 arriving from Darlington, or Teesside as it is called these days on flight radar. And I understand it is still the same destination. We'll be up next. 737-800 from Helsinki, KLM coming in after that. Embraer 190 arriving from Berlin after that. And I think there's a quad engined airplane, or is it? Yeah, it does look like a quad. Is that Emirates? Hard for me to see. It is still further to the north and to the west, quite far away actually. If I would have to guess, I think it might be an Emirates A380. And that could have come from over the Atlantic, but also from the UK. If it is Emirates, then its destination likely is going to be Dubai. First up, KLM flight 1534, Embraer 190 arriving from Darlington or Teesside. 50 minutes of flight, 11-year-old airplane, first flight January 2012. And thank you, Marissa, letting us know it was in fact an Emirates A380 from Houston to Dubai. John, thanks for the feedback. Great location. Well, it's not ideal to see the wheelies, as some of you have already remarked, so I figured yesterday was the first time I was here. Maybe not everybody was able to see yesterday's stream, so I figured let's go out on Sunday as well. There's typically a different crowd on Sunday than on Saturday. Give everybody a chance to see the new location. It's not going to be the permanent residence, but definitely a nice location to switch up and vary a little bit every now and then, particularly if you keep having the same general wind direction as we have been for now for weeks. It's been weeks on end now that this runway has been used for arrivals. Only maybe 2 days ago, I think it was, for a short few hours did they use the runway for departures, and this is of course also the typical wind that we have, southwesterly wind. It's what we have the most, but that means that runway usage can be the same weeks on end. And well, I always have been one that gets bored quite rapidly from things, and if you have to film the same traffic, I think this is Finnair going back to Helsinki by the looks of it. At least try to vary it a little bit every now and then. Plus, I'm very curious to see what this location would look like if you film arrivals when there is a stormy crosswind blowing. I think that would be very nice to see. Meanwhile, contrails galore. Got the quad going to the east. Got a twin going to the west. This is all still northeast of me. A little bit more to the south. Where is it? Another twin coming this way. And we have a little Embraer also approaching. Hey Sven, goedemiddag, happy Sunday, and thanks for the feedback. Glad you're loving the new location. Dirk asks, do you live in the vicinity? Well, I think the answer would be yes. As the crow flies, I think about 15 kilometers away from here, so 10 miles. Alright, Shamrock coming in from Dublin, and after that 777 time arriving from Guayaquil, Ecuador. Got an an Embraer 190 passing by, going to Oslo, and Aer Lingus A320 arriving from Dublin, Ireland. Flight 604. Hey there, Colin Mack, good morning. Good to see you again, hope all is well. Next up, KLM flight 751, 777-200, arriving from Guayaquil in Ecuador. Flight time of this airplane thus far, 10 hours 48 minutes. It is a 777-200ER, 19 years old. First flight October 2003. Oh, come on, Dirk. 15 kilometers. When you ride the bike, if you keep up the speed a little bit, that's like half an hour or so. Try convincing someone who lives overseas that 15 kilometers is not nearby. Going from one end of the city of Amsterdam to the other, which when I back when I still lived there, I did regularly, also on a bike. It's about the same distance. Hey there, Follow Me Aviation, good morning. No, sorry, good afternoon. I take that back, not a good morning. Got an EasyJet A320 up next. I'm also looking in the sky to see what is happening. It seems like there is an airplane that just made a bit of a turn and is now coming directly towards me. This is fully zoomed in, so it is still far out. It's also a small airplane by the looks of it. Right. Now is the time of day that when the sun is shining, the sun is interfering a little bit with visibility of my camera screen and the phone screen. Got an A320 from EasyJet arriving from Basel. An hour and 7 minutes of flight under its belt as we speak. 9 years old, first flight July 2014. And looking here, we have another Delta A330 after this airplane. And after the A330, it is another 777 coming next. We already see them both, looking to the north. In the foreground, Delta Airlines Flight 144, Airbus A330-300 arriving from Seattle, Washington. Nearly 9 hours of flight time, 8 hours and 54 minutes. 16-year-old airplane. First flight April 2007. Behind it is KLM Flight 744, number 8, most tracked by 228 people, arriving from Lima in Peru. Flight time of the 777 in the background, 11 hours and 39 minutes. 777-300ER, 6 years old. First up, Delta Airlines Flight 144, Airbus A330-300 arriving from Seattle, Washington. Oh man, you guys. JD, thank you so much for gifting another 5 AMS Live memberships. Incredible. Really, thank you so much. And also Colin Mack, thank you so much, you too, for gifting another 5 memberships. I have homework to do, need new emojis for all the new members. Thank you all so much. tremendous. Let me quickly turn around the camera. We don't want to miss the 90th Symphony of General Electric. Coming very soon. And also Her Majesty the Queen after that. Queen number 3 coming to the Polderbaan. Oh boy, wasn't that music to your ears? Radio HF and SW, good morning. Doug, good afternoon, tuning in from Canada. Welcome to all other viewers who have joined in the meantime. Rob, good afternoon. Natalia, privet. And welcome. Let's turn around and have a look at Her Majesty the Queen. The third that we are seeing in the show today, the second one coming to the Polderbaan, at the moment number 7 worldwide most tracked, Atlas Air flight 5421, arriving from Miami, Florida, has been flying now for 7 hours and 52 minutes. It is a 747-400 freighter, 24 years old, first flight October 1998. Hey there, Swaley. Boa tarde. Thanks for the feedback, Doug. Glad you're liking the view. Hope everybody is. Now, if you like what you saw, make sure to like the channel. And if you haven't done so already, consider subscribing and hitting the bell icon if you want to keep updates, receiving updates of when I go live in the future. Now, what is coming up next? First of all, Turkish, or at least Anadolu jet flying for Turkish. Flight 7768 arriving from Istanbul. Flight time 3 hours and 20 minutes. A 737-800, 12 years old. First flight was in September 2011. And Marissa says that there are 2 Icelandairs coming soon, the 767 and another 737. Yesterday, within the time span of 10 minutes, 2 MAX 8s. Today, one of them, the airplanes that they sent is a 767, but it is still peculiar. It seems to be their schedule. But it is strange that they are sending over 2 airplanes to Amsterdam so shortly after each other. KLM Embraer 175 arriving from Genoa up next. Looking in the sky, see what is going on. Got a couple of contrails, but nothing very close by. Also no quad jets by the looks of it. We have two airplanes coming this way. The Embraer 175 arriving from Genoa in the foreground, and behind it is a 737 from KLM arriving from Milan. Third airplane will be an Embraer 190 from LOT arriving from Warsaw. Now, the membership gifting madness this weekend hasn't ended yet. Austrian Wolf also chipping in, gifting 5 memberships. Thank you so much for that, Austrian Wolf. Absolutely appreciate it. Thank you so much, and welcome to all new AMS Live members. Man, I have to start counting how many how many new members AMS Live has been getting since this weekend. It has been crazy, you guys. I cannot say thank you enough for the tremendous support you guys have given me over the weekend. Amazing. Really don't know what to say. KLM touchdown. Next up, LOT flight 263, a regular Embraer 190, and after that an E2 Embraer 195. Listen when the E2 passes by, and you'll hear a whistling sound that, if you were to listen to a passing A220, sounds almost exactly the same. If not exactly the same. I think it is a whistle caused by the geared turbofan engines, because you only hear this particular whistle on these two airplane types, which have nearly similar engines. At least they are related. Am I already? Yeah, 3 airplanes visible. LOT Embraer 190, E2 Embraer 195 from KLM, and the Icelandair 767 number 3 further out. And JD, there is an upper limit, I believe, of 50 emojis, but custom emojis get assigned, or at least the slots for custom emojis become available based on the number of members you have. And initially those new slots become available quite quickly, so at 5 members, 10 members, etc. As you get more members, the increments become bigger, needed, the number of new members needed to get another emoji available, and it is based on a moment in time. So if today you have X amount of members and tomorrow 90% of the memberships expire automatically, then you need to book your slot today, because tomorrow you will no longer have access to it. So it's always based on a particular moment in time. But the increments get bigger, the additional number of members needed to get another emoji slot available. So it's much more difficult to go from 29 to 30 emojis than it is from 5 to 6, for instance. and the increments get 50, 25, and then 50, and then 100, and then 250. So the growth of new emojis eventually slows down a little bit, I think, in most cases. There's that whistle. Right. Got a new airplane type to listen to from this point of view. A 767-300 ER Icelandair Flight 500 arriving from Reykjavik. You can see the wind affecting the airplane. It is crabbing a little bit. The airplane has been flying now for 2 hours and 41 minutes. I really have to fixate the tripod even with image stabilizer on. It becomes a bit more difficult to get the camera still. Wind is more or less blowing directly from behind, a little bit from the side, but it is causing a bit of shudder nonetheless. 25 years old, this airplane had its first flight in October 1997. Did you guys see what I just saw in a glimpse? Big fat contrail coming directly towards me. I think that is a quad-engined airplane, which I will be looking at in a moment. Another one of those. Look at that. Interrupted. And again, from this point of view, the lighting or the form seems to be very different from what we're used to seeing, or at least I am used to seeing. Maybe you guys are just saying, oh man, same different day. And it is, yeah, it is a quad engine airplane. Right, time for another whistle. Maybe let's have another look once it has passed by and is on the other side with the sun in its back. Okay, thanks Aphrodite. Frankfurt, Miami, Lufthansa 7478. But we saw that before. I think that the contrail lighting was a bit off, different from what we normally are used to seeing. And thank you so much, Blucati. Not Ducati, but Blucati. Luca? Thank you so much for becoming a member. Welcome to the Aurora Sky Lounge. Thank you so much for your support. Rolf says, hey boy, I have to go. Thanks for the stream again. Keep going, buddy. Enjoy your Sunday and see you later. Take care. Well, thank you so much, Rolf, for joining. Thanks for watching. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday as well. And hope to see you again soon. Let's have another look at that 7478. The contrail is a bit different from And this is all very... Now it's no longer forming a contrail. We also saw some interruptions in the contrail earlier. Well, obviously has to do with circumstances in the atmosphere up there. Let's turn back so that the wires don't get tangled and zoom in on what is going on over here. Vueling A320 arriving from Alicante, flight 1377, 2 hours and 22 minutes of flight time, 10-year-old airplane, first flight April 2013. Ooh, nice wheelie. And some reversers. For a moment it looked like the nose was going even higher. I thought it was going to go around, but it was just an awesome wheelie. Okay. Sunweb livery Transavia 737-800 is coming next, and there's another airplane flying immediately adjacent to the contrail of the other airplane. And I also have to update the ticker. Parallel arrivals once again in progress. That must mean that the A380 is nearby. Now, for those of you who aren't Dutch and don't know what Sunweb is a tour operator. In fact, I almost always book my winter sport, my ski holidays via them, flying with Transavia to Innsbruck in the winter. So they work together, they offer flights, vacations, and use Transavia very often. Also other operators these days, but Sunweb is a tour operator in the Netherlands. Icelandair number 2 coming in, the 737 MAX 8, arriving from Reykjavik in the new livery with, by the looks of it, judging the photo on flight radar, a hint of yellow on the tail, the leading edge of the tail. 737 MAX 8, flight time 2 hours and 43 minutes. The airplane is 5 years old, first flight March 2018. And in the bottom left you can see the next airplane behind it, which is an A321 from Vueling, arriving from Barcelona. Now, number 3, there it is. Is it 777-300, arriving from Panama City. Incredibly coincidental that there happens to be a tree protruding exactly where the airplanes are coming from in the distance. Alright, quick update of the ticker, at least the runway usage. 18C once again being used for arrivals. So trying to see if I can copy paste the latest METAR. Well, at least copy it, paste it, I will do on second instance. There we go. Copied the information, now I need to go back to operating the camera again. A321 from Vueling, arriving from Barcelona, flight 8309, flight time 1 hour and 53 minutes as we speak. 8-year-old airplane, first flight January 2015. Alrighty. Double triple time, ladies and gentlemen. First up, A777 in the SkyTeam livery, KLM flight 758. Arriving from Panama City. Flight time 9 hours and 18 minutes as we speak. A 777-300ER, 14 years old, first flight August 2009. After that, another 777-300ER arriving from Atlanta, Georgia. Now this one I think always is a looker. I like the SkyTeam livery, but it looks best I think on this big behemoth. But truth be told, the backlight isn't working out today. Yesterday we had better lighting when the Orange Pride, for instance, landed. That was sweet. Right, next up, KLM flight 622 arriving from Atlanta, Georgia. Standard livery. Number 8 worldwide most tracked. I think a lot of the viewers from Amsterdam are also looking along on flight radar. Flight time 7 hours and 49 minutes. The airplane is 15 years old. First flight March 2008. Thank you for the kind words, René. Hey, Valentine! You were at Schiphol with your dad, right? I'm standing at the north end of Polderbaan. The north side van de Polderbaan. Oh. And again, Symphony number 90 from General Electric. Beautiful. And there's a Ryanair coming in. Leon is saying was going to Dublin, diverting to Amsterdam. Where is it flying at the moment? Ryanair above Netherlands has an alarm. Okay, time to clear the filter because obviously it won't show up when having AMS filters engaged. Oh yeah, I see a red label on flight radar. Interesting. Now number 1 tracked, most tracked worldwide by more than 3,000 people. Ryanair in trouble, shows red indeed. Flight 1979, 737-800, was about to fly from Lodz to Dublin is diverting to Amsterdam. 15-year-old airplane, first flight November 2007. It is going to the center runway. So I'm looking to see if I can see it already. I think I have it. Only just a speck of light. So I'm not sure if I am able to pick it up for you guys already. Again, let's have a look. Now I've lost it again. Okay, I have it. In between the blue poles and then going up. There it is. Right, got it. So, has anybody heard what is going on? James says normally a medical issue with a passenger. All right. Well, almost 13,000 people are following this airplane. If they tune into AMS Live, they are also able to see it. So this is Ryanair flight 1979, diverting to Amsterdam. A rapid descent now on the glide slope of runway 18 center. Doesn't look like something is wrong on the outside. KLM Embraer just passed by in the foreground, landing on Polderbaan. Right, almost 17,000 people are following this airplane. Incredible. Right, I think this is as far as we can see it from over here. Stuff in the way in the meantime, unfortunately. So, not sure what happened there. If anybody knows anything, do let us know in the chat. That was the Ryanair diverting to Amsterdam. That was supposed to be on its way to Dublin. Flight 1979. In the meantime, over here, an A320neo arriving from Palma de Mallorca. Hey Wilma, goedemiddag. Geert, goedemiddag. David or David, good afternoon, goedemiddag. Right, the center once again open. The KLM 737 arriving from Rome at 900. Meanwhile, Air France A320 coming this way, arriving from Paris Charles de Gaulle. This is Air France flight 1640. Flight time 44 minutes. The airplane 20 years old. First flight December 2002. Then Embraer 190 arriving from Glasgow after that, and a top Air Portugal A319 after that. Oh yeah, I was about to update the ticker with the weather. Seeing this airplane bank left and right a little. Hey there John, good evening. Good to see you again. Hope all is well over there in Melbourne. And Joe says that the Ryanair was a medical emergency. Thanks for letting us know. Hopefully nothing too serious, but then again they don't divert and rapidly descend if it is serious. Right, did a little update of the ticker in the meantime. So the latest meteorology is now, or at least when I copied it for a few minutes ago, is now in the ticker. Wind 200 knots, 12 knot wind, 200 degrees, 20 degrees Celsius, and in the 20s. Speaking about 20s, 1022 hectopascals of air pressure. It is CAV okay, ceiling and visibility are okay. No significant changes in the weather in the upcoming 2 hours is expected. Calm Indian summery weather with a bit of a breeze. Now, we're still waiting for the A380, which is very likely going to land on runway 18 center, but it should be getting closer by now. Another SkyTeam liveried airplane. We saw the 777-300 before. This is an Embraer 190 KLM flight 1474, arriving from Glasgow. An hour and 5 minutes of flight time. Boy, did the Romanians get their asses kicked yesterday by the Scottish during rugby. I always am remembering that video clip from Aussie Man Reviews, and he first shows a clip of a major collision in Australian football, and I thought, what's the difference between American football, rugby and Australian football? Because the ball they play with seems to be very similar. Now, obviously, in American football they're wearing helmets, etc. And the other two sports they don't. But then in that video, and I think most of you, or at least a lot of you, will probably know it. First it's a major collision in the Australian football, and then let's go over to the European football, and then you see a guy flicking the ear of another guy, and the guy whose ear got flicked falls to the ground as if he is in a world of pain. And of course that is being mocked, the difference. Genius video, most of you will probably know it. I think it's probably one of the videos that got Aussie Man reviews going back in the day. An AFL. So that is more physical or what? Alright, so Kemi says Aussie rules football is lots different from American football and rugby. I figured that much. It looks more physical and more high speed, for so far as I've seen clips of it. And Mrs. Professor, thank you for the update. The A380 is expected in around 20 minutes or so from now. Aero Mexico Flight 25 is up next. 7879 Dreamliner arriving from Mexico City. Nearly 10 hours underway, 9 hours and 54 minutes. The airplane is 6 years old. First flight November 2016. And Leon says that there is also an ambulance on the apron where the Ryanair that has diverted, landed or has parked, so probably someone getting unwell, maybe cardiac issues or something. Oh man, thank you so much, Yorkshire. Indeed, I did not see. Scrolling back. Scrolling back. The chat is going too quickly for me. There it is. Apologies for not noticing, John. Apologies. Thank you so much for gifting 5 AMS Live memberships. I missed it altogether. Apologies. And thank you so much. Now let's have a look. Where is that A380? The A380 is in Dutch airspace already. It is flying in the east on its way to Lelystad, it looks like. Marissa has to go. Thank you so much for joining. Marissa, enjoy the rest of your Sunday. Okay, so the A380 is coming. This is an A320neo from Vueling. Arriving from Valencia. Flight time 2 hours and 11 minutes. The airplane is 4 years old. First flight July 2019. The Transavia 737 up next. Quite a few birds over here. But as long as they stay over there, they're good. Also another airplane departing. Is that Norwegian? Where is it? Nah, not seeing it. Not being able to film it. So this is Transavia flight 6144, arriving from Alicante. Flight time 2 hours 17 minutes. The airplane 21 years old. First flight June 2002. Yo, Aphrodite, thank you so much. 10 AMS Live memberships, 500 likes. What more can you want? Holy moly. Thank you so much, Aphrodite. That, you know, that wasn't necessary, right? That is definitely, you're already a mod. That's more than enough support you're giving me. Same goes for all the other moderators. Thank you so much, Aphrodite, and congratulations to all the viewers who got gifted a membership from Aphrodite. Thank you so much. Indeed, JD, the queen of the day. Alright, now. What's that? That's a Turkish A330. Going to center. Arriving from Istanbul, A330-300. Going to the wrong runway. You should land over here. All the Embraers should go to center. Okay, got another contrail north of me and east of me, flying from east to west. Twin jet, clearly recognizable, but oh wait, I due to the Ryanair emergency, I took off all my filters, so I should be able to see it on flight radar myself if I zoom to the north more. A320neo, A320neo, EasyJet arriving from Milan. Flight time no longer mentioned, but I guess 1.5 hours or so. The airplane 3 years old, first flight October 2019. The A380 is above Lelystad. Thanks for the update there, Aphrodite. So we should be seeing it quite soon. No traffic immediately in the vicinity. Let's look around then, shall we? No contrails nearby, so let's focus on the traffic to center then. Transavia 737 over here, which is arriving from Previtsa, PVK. Yeah, Previtsa. Transavia flight 5794, 737-800, Flight time 2 hours and 50 minutes. 8-year-old airplane. First flight March 2015. Right, we have the 737-800 arriving from Barcelona. That is coming this way. Now looking to the north, if I zoom out, you can see the part of the sky that the arriving traffic is flying in is a bit milky. Let me see if the KLM 737 is visible already. We know by now that we have to zoom into the protruding tree, and yeah, works like a charm. KLM flight 1666 arriving from Barcelona will be the next airplane. Right, JD, that's very unfortunate. The A380 is nearby. But if you have to go, then you have to go. Thank you so much for joining, JD. And thank you for all the gifted memberships as well. Not only today, but yesterday too. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday, mate. Hope to see you again on the next one, which will probably be on Thursday, weather permitting. I'm gonna continue on my gardening project that I intend to do initially on Mondays. Also have some more painting and stuff to do, but that's more for the winter months. Right now, want to get some of the tiles from the terrace out and get some lawn in. Nice Monday project to start out with. In the meantime, the 737 from Barcelona has come closer by in audible range. Look at that. Last minute corrections. Not the tidiest of landings, at least from this angle it looked like, but a safe landing, any safe landing is a good landing. Don't want to be too perfectionistic. Thanks Follow Me Aviation for giving me the feedback. Most people seem to like the new location, some like the other better, but overall I think most people still enjoy this location and it's a nice change of scenery. If the wind doesn't change, then it looks like on Thursday I will go back to the old location a bit further south. Let me see. Thought that there was maybe a contrail or flying over. That might have been interesting, but it looks like it was an old contrail I was looking at. Alright, A380 is flying base. I think this is going to be the last airplane to follow for Polderbaan. I'm already scanning the sky. Oh, and a lovely murmuration over here. Double murmuration actually. Hope you guys can see both of them. So there's one and also here above. Are you guys seeing it? Really lovely. Big murmuration. Let me have a look. Are you guys seeing it? Damn it. Why aren't you seeing it? Alright, well. Transavia 737-800 arriving from Faro in Portugal. Safely landed. Right, the A380 is turning final. Let's see. Here we need to be for traffic to Polderbaan, and if I'm not mistaken, around the same. The hunt for the A380 has begun. Now, looking closely on the laptop screen, not seeing it yet. And Lenny, indeed no duckies today. We have had ripples over here throughout. I haven't seen a single duck. It seems like they are more southerly. Did have one coot and one duck over here yesterday, and that was it. Alright, I have the A380 in sight. There you go. It is officially the last airplane of the day. The Emirates A380 Super Flight 147, the daily flight from Dubai to Amsterdam. And a lot of birds. Where is it now? Alright, the number one worldwide most tracked airplane. The second one we have in the stream. This one followed by a little less than the Ryanair. That at some point was followed by more than 17,000 people. Still, more than 1,500 people are following it on Flight Radar right now. 1,588 people. The A380-800 arriving from Dubai. Now the typical flight time is 6.5 hours at this point, and today is no exception. The current flight time is 6 hours and 37 minutes. The airplane, 8 years old, first flight October 2014, and judging the picture, it looks like this is also the updated standard livery, the tail of which is an emoji for AMS Live members. So we're congruent with what we're seeing. Congruent. Congruent. Where do you put the emphasis? Congruent. First syllable. Right. Meanwhile, there's also an Embraer coming this way. A 190 by the looks of it. Definitely getting a bit more windy. But also a lot more sun than in the early morning. Well, in the middle of the morning, we began with blue skies as well. Right, we're entering the last seconds that we can see this airplane. The tail, of course, protrudes a bit more than on other airplane types. Now, I do believe we were able to pick it up again after it had cleared all the stuff over here in the foreground. I think we can see the rest of the rollout over here. Such a big behemoth always stands out. Hard to estimate if it has already passed this point or not. Maybe we don't get to see that after all. Right, well, too bad then. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to wrap it up. It has been another good one, at least for me it was. I had a blast and I hope you guys all did too. It was another eventful morning. A lot of different airplane types. Medical emergency from Ryanair, the A380, 3 queens of which 2 landed on this runway. Folks, thank you all so much for watching again. Looking to see you all again on the next one, which is probably going to be next this Thursday, weather permitting. No stream tomorrow. Thank you all so much for joining. Thank you all so much for watching. Hope you guys had fun. Thanks everyone who was so kind to donate super chats, super stickers, super likes. Become a member, donate memberships, or donate through PayPal. You guys are the best. Your support means the world to me. I'm starting to stutter. Need some coffee. Thank you all so much. And thanks moderators as well for moderating and keeping the stream and the chat a safe place and a happy place to be in. Hope to see you all on the next one. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday. For now, I'm gonna say goodbye. If you haven't done so already, leave a like. And if you want to stay updated about when I'm going to go live again, make sure to subscribe and hit the bell icon. For now, I'm gonna say goodbye. Take care and see you all soon.